Before starting this video, I would like to thank Connor Bruce, who has taken membership of my channel. This story begins. And we are told this, in the 9 provinces of the continent, thanks to abundance of spiritual energy, this was the best time to cultivate immortality. Seizing the opportunity, Eastern cultivators, Western magicians, and demon races used in a golden era of cultivation. Following suit, the Great Zhou Empire set a talent market, allowing major sects to recruit more skilled individuals who could become cultivators. Then we see a man who is speaking. Wow, you are currently at the 3rd stage of the Qi refinement realm, possess extraordinary dual spiritual roots, and wire a top-tier divine artifact. Are you sure you are not a descendant of a prestigious and righteous sect? With such exceptional talent, you can definitely overcome the tribulation within 10 years. And after listening to his words, another man says, not at all. You're too kind with your praise. And he is thinking, I have never heard of this enlightening valley before, but it seems to be quite high profile. It looks down even on people with top-grade talent. It might be some kind of reclusive sect that does not care about fame, but I don't believe they would look down on someone like me who has peerless double spiritual roots. But the man says, not qualified? And hearing this, another man is shocked, and he says, weeping, it must be because my cultivation level is too low that you didn't choose me. I'll come back in 3 years to join your sect. Then the man behind him says, even peerless double spiritual roots were rejected. It seems we are all unqualified in the eyes of the big shot. And the third man says, what kind of background does this enlightening valley have? It can't be some kind of reclusive sect, right? After this we know about this man. And that is, the eldest disciple of the enlightening valley, Feng Qiyu. And Feng Qiyu is speaking, so many people have applied, but not a single one of them is qualified. It's really a generation worse than the last. Then Feng Qiyu hears some voice. And when he looks at the front, 2 people together are bullying a girl. And those people are speaking, do you think you can join a sect and cultivate with your talent? That's hilarious. Get lost. The Great Zhou Empire doesn't need trash like you. And this girl's name is Lingling. And she is speaking, except for the 7 Sects Alliance, other sects don't limit their recruitment based on talent and aptitude. Why can't I try? Besides, there are many seniors in the history of cultivation who successfully broke through the tribulation with the same aptitude as mine. Don't look down on me. But the man says, you're quite stubborn. And the man holds Lingling's hands vigorously, due to which Lingling is hurting. And he is speaking, but I must admit you have some charm. How about you have some fun with me? And I'll help you join the Heavenly Insight Pavilion. And Lingling is speaking to the man to stay away. And that man is very upset by Lingling. And he is speaking, TSK. Little girl, you don't know what's God for you. And seeing the bully, the crowd is speaking, the Heavenly Insight Pavilion is one of the 7 Sects Alliance. It's not something to be taken lightly. It'd be better if we don't get involved. It's better to avoid unnecessary trouble, let's leave. And then Feng Qiyu attacks him with his fan, due to which the man's hand is released from Lingling. And Feng Qiyu comes in front of Lingling. And Lingling is surprised to see him. And the bullying are speaking, where did this punk come from, daring to lay hands on someone from our Heavenly Insight Pavilion? And they have taken out their weapons. But Feng Qiyu does not mind and he says, a bunch of foolish idiots. And Feng Qiyu attacks those people with the fan, due to which people get very hurt. And seeing Feng Qiyu's action, some people are speaking, wow, the senior has taken action. As expected, the big shot from the hidden sect dared to intervene and teach a lesson to someone from the Heavenly Insight Pavilion. And Lingling is happy to hear the words of those people. And she is speaking, a hidden sect? So cool. Then Lingling goes to Feng Qiyu. And greeting Feng Qiyu says, I, Lingling, would like to thank you, my benefactor. And Feng Qiyu tells him, oh, it was just a small gesture. And then Feng Qiyu notices something. And he says, good for note's spiritual root. And Feng Qiyu gets very shocked and he says, you actually have a god-for-nothing spiritual root? And Lingling is saying yes. Then Feng Qiyu holds Lingling's hand, and tells him, that's great. Come to Enlightening Valley with me and be my junior sister. 5 days off a week, free food and accommodation, 5 types of insurance, 1 pension, and the remuneration is generalized. And listening to Feng Qingyue's words, the crowd is very surprised, and they are speaking. The big boss was looking for a god-for-nothing spiritual route? As expected, thoughts of a big shot from some hidden sect beyond our understanding, and hearing the crowd, Feng Qingyue is speaking. What's wrong with a good-for-nothing spiritual route? It's the incompetence of the master that they can't train such a talent. Rest assured, if you enter my enlightening valley, I will definitely make you a peerless existence in the world. And Lingling becomes very happy to hear this, and she says, Lingling is willing to become a disciple of Enlightening Valley. Then Feng Qingyue is speaking to Lingling, time waits for none, I'll take you back to the valley right away. Finally, I managed to deceive someone. I've found a good-for-nothing spiritual root company for the second brother, and she's even a cute little sister. He will surely be thrilled. And Lingling says I will work hard and not disappoint the expectations of my benefactor. After this the scene shifts and we see Enlightening Valley. And Feng Qingyue brings Lingling near a house, and says since our master is traveling, we can skip the rituals of becoming a disciple. Let me introduce you to someone first. And Lingling says, is this Enlightening Valley? And Lingling is thinking of looking at the courtyard, the hidden sect mentioned by other cultivators. Why does it look somewhat shabby and abandoned? And thinking that Lingling is a little surprised. Then Feng Qingyue feels his second brother, then he says, second brother, come out and meet the little martial sister I recruited as the new disciple of the Enlightening Valley. And when Lingling sees in front, she is surprised to be a very handsome man in front of her. But this is Lingling's imagination. In Realty, Xiao Cheng is cooking the hen's head and eating. And Feng Qingyue is telling us this is our second brother, a skilled expert of this humble Enlightening Valley. And Lingling is thinking, what the dash? The difference between imagination and reality is enormous. Then Xiao Cheng tells both of them, we are having rabbit meat for dinner. Want some? And Feng Qingyue says, let's put the rabbits aside for now. This is Lingling, our little martial sister is just a seed our little martial sister I recruited. And Xiao Cheng says, I didn't ask you. Newcomer, wanna have a bite? But Lingling gets a little nervous looking at the hen's head, and she says, and no. I'm fine, thank you. And hearing this Xiao Cheng tells both of them, oh, then I'll go get a couple more. And both of them are surprised to hear Xiao Cheng's talk. And Lingling is thinking, hey, are you even listening to what people are saying? And Feng Qingyue is speaking, second brother is the strongest person in Enlightening Valley. He may have a peculiar personality, but he's a good person. You should stick with him in the future. And as soon as Lingling hears this thing, she shocks a lot, and she says, the strongest? But second brother doesn't have a trace of spiritual energy. Clearly, he's just a mortal. But then Feng Qingyue closes Lingling's mouth. And slowly says in his ear, little martial sister, you must speak recklessly. It would lead to big trouble. And then Feng Qingyue noticed something. And he removes Lingling from that place. And someone has attacked them. And the one who has attacked is speaking, which puny bastard dared to hit my grandson? And an old man has come to this place. And he is a man, Sun Fang, nascent soul realm, an elder of the Heavenly Insight Pavilion. And the old man is saying that the one who has attacked my grandson came out. And seeing the man, Feng Qingyue is speaking, oh, I forgot that Yin Yang Li was sent by Xiao Cheng to refine pills. Otherwise, how cold these insignificant people enter. And Lingling is speaking, these guys are from the Heavenly Insight Pavilion. What do we do, senior brother? And Feng Qingyue gives an evil look, and he says, don't panic. And the man behind that old man, finger towards Feng Qingyue, says, seventh uncle. It's this bastard who hit me. And as soon as that old man hears this, he is thinking, I can't gauge this person's cultivation. Could it be higher than mine? It'd be better to test it out first. And now that old man is ready to fight with Feng Qingyue. And he is speaking, how dare you insult the disciples of the Heavenly Insight Pavilion? I must teach you a lesson today. But Feng Qingyue does not mind the words of that old man. He is smiling, and then there is an attack on the hand of that old man. And that attack has injured the old man's hand very much. And seeing this, that old man is very surprised. And at the same time his weapon falls down. And seeing this, the old man is speaking, "Who is this bastard? Who is sneaking up on me?" And Lingling is also surprised, and she is thinking, "I didn't see senior brother making a move. Could it be?" And then Xiao Cheng entered at that place. The one who looks like this is very angry. And he is releasing his power, and he is speaking, "Was you the one who kicked the stove?" And as soon as he sees the old man Xiao Cheng, he is surprised. And he is speaking, "Mortal? How could a mere mortal harm me? Impossible, this is impossible." And then suddenly Xiao Cheng reaches close to that old man. After feeling, the old man is very surprised. And he is thinking, "What's with his speed?" And Xiao Cheng tells that old man, "So you look down on mortals, huh?" And seeing Xiao Cheng's speed, the eyes of that old man started coming out. And he is thinking, "Isn't he just a mortal?" And Xiao Cheng has hit a punch on the stomach of that old man. And due to that punch, the old man flies into the air. Seeing the grandson of that old man gets very nervous. And Lingling is very happy to see all these things. And she is speaking, "Is this the true strength of the second brother?" And Feng Qingyu smilingly says he is said to be the strongest in the enlightening valley. Remember this lesson. You must never look down on mortals. And Feng Qingyu is speaking, "How dare you, a mere nascent soul cultivator, look down on mortals? Even if you were in the tribulation transcendence realm, I would have still given you a taste of my power." And we know about Xiao Cheng that he is the second senior brother of the enlightening valley, son Xiao Cheng. Constitution: no spiritual roots. Warning: absolutely detests discrimination against mortals. Xiao Cheng had a lucky encounter as soon as he transmigrated to the cultivation world. After being brought back to Enlightening Valley by Master Li Changxing, he began his dream journey of cultivating immortality and becoming a proud, soaring dragon. And finally, it's my turn to become the Dragon King. However, dreams are beautiful, but reality can be harsh. He lacked bloodline and talent and didn't even have any system cheat. What's even worse was that he didn't even have spiritual roots. Thus, unable to cultivate, Xiao Cheng could only watch his senior brothers enter the ranks of cultivators, while he could only play with a dog. But one day, even that dog betrayed him. "Young man, I have attained Tao and become an immortal." "I am no longer a mortal." Xiao Cheng remained an ordinary human, unable to cultivate. However, he was still pretty strong. "You don't even have spiritual roots. You're not qualified to be my second senior brother." Robert, an origin-returned cultivator, once brandished his ancestral sword to pressure him. In the end, the sword made from celestial iron was easily shattered by Xiao Cheng. And all those who insulted the sect and mortals without considering the consequences fell under his bamboo staff. "Hey, don't look down on mortals, or this will be your fate." After this we see that old man, who is very surprised to see the power of Xiao Cheng, and he is thinking, "How can a mere mortal have such great strength? Damn it! I have never been so humiliated." Then that old man is going to use some kind of technique. And he is saying, "You scoundrel! I was momentarily careless, which give you an opportunity." And that old man is about to use the heavenly insight Azure Wolf Devour technique on Xiao Cheng. And a huge wolf comes behind him. And when Lingling sees that technique, she gets very nervous. And she says, "The Azure the Wolf Devours is the greatest technique of the Heavenly Insight Pavilion. Second senior brother, be careful." But Feng Qingyu asks Lingling not to panic. And he says, "Don't worry. Your second senior brother has dealt with this situation numerous times." And that old man is saying, "Today, I will show you the vast difference between nascent soul and your mortal flesh." And that old man attacks Xiao Cheng. But it doesn't make any difference to Xiao Cheng. He is ready to destroy that attack, and he is saying, "A wolf? Clearly it's just a mad dog that barks without reason." And Xiao Cheng would have destroyed that attack very easily. And he has reached near that old man to attack him. And when the old man sees that Xiao Cheng is about to attack him, he becomes very nervous. And with just one attack from Xiao Cheng, the old man's tooth breaks, and his nose starts bleeding. And Xiao Cheng is saying, The final move, the dog beating staff technique. What was it again? And the old man is saying nervously, how can a mortal break through the techniques of a cultivator? And then Xiao Cheng probably remembers something. And he attacks directly again. And he says, dogs not allowed. And Lingling gets very scared after seeing such dangerous power of Xiao Cheng. And she is saying, second senior brother is just a mortal, how can he be so strong? If only I could be like him. And as soon as Xiao Cheng hears this, he turns back, giving a menacing look. And Feng Qiyu gets scared seeing this. And he shuts Lingling's mouth. And he says, Junior sister. Didn't I tell you not to mention that in front of him? And Feng Qiyu quickly goes to Xiao Cheng, and says to him, second junior brother. Stay calm. It's been less than half an hour since junior sister started her cultivation journey. She's still young and doesn't understand things. And Xiao Cheng is staring at Lingling. Then Xiao Cheng gives a bag to Lingling, and he says, go feed the pigeons. And as soon as Feng Qiyu hears this, he comes to life. And he sighs with relief, phew, that was scary. And Lingling gets confused seeing her bag. Then Xiao Cheng turns back and says to Lingling, hey, newcomer. Mortals can still become strong. Don't look down on mortals. And Lingling gets surprised after listening to Xiao Cheng. Then she says yes. And Xiao Cheng starts leaving from that place. And Lingling is thinking, I don't look down on mortals, I just hope to become as powerful as you. Then Feng Qiyu laughingly says to Lingling, junior sister, let's go. I'll take you to the pigeon coop. And Lingling says, by the way, senior brother, in the cultivation world, don't we usually use communication symbols and transmission papers to communicate? Why does the Enlightening Valley still use carrier pigeons? So Feng Qiyu whispers in Lingling's ear, and she says, your second senior brother can't use communication symbols. And as soon as Feng Qiyu tells this to Lingling, then there is an attack on Feng Qiyu. And this attacker is Xiao Cheng. And he is saying to Feng Qiyu, don't think I can't hear you talking behind my back. And Feng Qiyu removes those chopsticks and says, ahem, anyway, if you ever receive any pigeon letters, just give them directly to your second senior brother. And Lingling nervously says to Feng Qiyu, senior brother, you're bleeding. But Feng Qiyu tells Lingling, no worries. It's just a life-threatening injury. I'm used to it. After this the scene shifts. And Xiao Cheng would have come to a different place. And there is a robotic lady at that place. And she looks at Xiao Cheng and says, I've been waiting for you for so long. And as soon as Xiao Cheng hears this, he becomes very happy. And he starts taking off his clothes, and says to that robotic lady, well, here I am. We shouldn't delay any longer. Let's get started quickly. Then we see that Xiao Cheng is having fun behind the curtain. And that robotic lady is massaging Xiao Cheng. And Xiao Cheng is saying, ah, this feels so good. Today's position and speed have touched my heart deeply. As expected, only you truly understand me. Then we are told about this robotic lady. Name, 618, Lu Yaba. Identity, 5th Elder of Enlightening Valley. Race, the big shot behind the screen surely knows. Gender unknown? And Lu Yaba says, it's not that I understand you. It's just that neither of us can cultivate. And hearing this, Xiao Cheng says, hey, don't reveal what you've figured out. Lu Yaba then transforms her robotic arm into a small hammer. Then she says, based on data sample analysis, if you want to cultivate, you need to undergo at least 9,981 cycles of lightning tribulations, 7,749 cycles of bone tempering, and hundreds of cycles of heavenly fire quenching. My calculation program believes it is not worth the pain in exchange for the opportunity to become an immortal. Your current life is peaceful and comfortable. Why do you insist on seeking discomfort for yourself? And Xiao Cheng says, because I want to ascend and achieve immortality, to live forever and eat spicy rabbits for a lifetime. Then Lu Yaba says, spicy rabbits are indeed delicious. And Xiao Cheng is thinking, why can they cultivate immortality while I can't? And then someone opens the door of that room, and comes straight inside. And that is Lingling. And he has a letter in his hand. And she is saying, second senior brother, here's a letter for you. But as soon as Lingling sees the scene in front, she gets very shocked, because Xiao Cheng is taking a massage, and Lu Yaba is sitting on top of Xiao Cheng. And seeing this, Lingling starts feeling shy. And she says, "Sorry for the interruption. I'll leave now." And as soon as Lu Yaba sees Lingling, she starts analyzing her. And she says, "Wait a moment, you have such a splendid body. Why don't you cultivate with us and enjoy the ultimate pleasure together?" And as soon as Lingling sees Lu Yaba's face, she gets very scared. And she calls Lu Yaba a ghost. And Lingling is thinking, I never expected the second senior brother to have such a peculiar preference. Then Lingling starts running away from that place. But Xiao Cheng stops him and says, "Stop it, I mean stop thinking that way. You're overthinking it." And after some time, Xiao Cheng tells Lingling about Lu Yaba, and he says, their name is 618. Also known as Lu Yaba, they are a disciple of Enlightening Valley and your fifth senior sister. No, that's not right. Senior brother, that's not right either. And hearing this, Lingling gets surprised. She says, "Is this senior brother?" So Xiao Cheng tells Lingling, "Senior brother or senior sister, either is fine, whatever you prefer. Anyway, just consider them someone who practiced a special technique, which is why they look like this. They are not some kind of monster or demon." Then Lingling says, "In all my years in the Great Zhou Kingdom, I've never seen anyone like the fifth senior sister. Could it be the secret art of the legendary Southern Barbarian Kingdom?" And Xiao Cheng says, just consider it that way. And he's thinking, it's really hard to explain pronouns to people from ancient times. Then Lu Yaba goes to Lingling, and tells her, "I was giving the second senior brother a massage therapy earlier. It helps to unblock the meridians and invigorate the muscles and bones. Would you like to give it a try?" Then Lu Yaba starts massaging Lingling with her robotic hands, due to which Lingling feels orgasm. And she's thinking, so, this is a skill that the fifth senior sister has cultivated. How fascinating! And after some time, Lingling's condition becomes very strange, and she gives the letter to Xiao Cheng and says, "So, I can't believe there exists this kind of cultivation method. By the way, second senior brother, don't forget to read the letter." And as soon as Xiao Cheng is about to open that letter, his face becomes strange. And he says, "Why is it from this idiot again? Every time he sends a letter, it's never good news." And it is written in that letter, "Second senior brother, here's the letter." It says, "I have received your previous correspondence. I am deeply touched by your friendship and affection. The days we spent together in Enlightening Valley are still vivid in my mind. Yesterday's excursion feels like it happened just before my eyes, making me worry about Enlightening the Valley's well-being. How are the flowers, plants, cats, and dogs in the valley? I wonder how you and my senior brothers are doing." After reading what Xiao Cheng says, he really knows how to write flower words. And Xiao Cheng adds, "Recently, I came across an ancient classic having a method of reshaping one's spiritual roots. It is profound and extraordinary, filled with mysteries. However, as the saying goes, there's no such thing as a free lunch. Coincidentally, I need some help with them 4 symbols of the auspicious formation ceremony." And Lingling is asking Xiao Cheng, the second senior brother, who sent the letter? And Xiao Cheng is reading, "I hope the second senior brother can lend a helping hand and assist me in this urgent matter." And Xiao Cheng reads that letter and says, "Here we go again. I smell something fishy whenever I receive a letter from him." Then Lu Yaba tells Lingling, "The person Xiao Cheng is referring to is your sixth senior brother, Bai Lei. He is not in Enlightening Valley but working in the 6th Division of the Supervision Bureau." Salmon gets surprised after hearing this, then she says, "Wow, the Supervision Bureau. Isn't that the department of the Great Zhou Empire dedicated to supervising and managing cultivators and supernatural beings? Senior brother Feng didn't lie to me. Enlightening Valley is indeed a place of hidden talents. I must learn well from senior brothers and sisters." And Xiao Cheng says, "You better stay away from Bai Lei. Getting involved with him always leads to trouble. Instead of dealing with him, focus on yours cultivation." And Lingling is saying to Xiao Cheng, then, "Second senior brother, please begin." And Xiao Cheng points his finger at Lingling and says, "Begin what?" So Lingling says, "My cultivation. You are my mentor. Although you act like an A***, you effortlessly defeated a nascent soul stage cultivator. I have never seen anyone as strong as you. You must have a special cultivation method, right? But Xiao Cheng says, no, not really. And Lingling says, even though I have a good-for-nothing spiritual root and can't cultivate in the normal way, if you guide me, I'm sure I can find a path of cultivation that suits me. But Xiao Cheng is telling Lingling, there is no such thing. Why don't you believe what others say? And Lingling is insisting, and she is saying, I want to become as strong as you. Please teach me the path to becoming stronger, senior brother. And Liu Yaba tells Lingling, according to the data, the second senior brother has made significant achievements in guiding others to break through their limitations. And hearing this, Xiao Cheng says, what? Nonsense, are you yapping? And Lingling says, is it true? Then Liu Yaba tells both of them, the data shows that after being guided by Xiao Cheng, third senior brother advanced from the foundation establishment realm to the origin return realm. Thanks to the guidance of Xiao Cheng, the fourth senior brother ascended from the Qi refinement realm to the nascent soul realm. Furthermore, the eldest brother was guided by Xiao Cheng all the way to the tribulation transcendence realm. Even the ninth junior brother, who had the worst talent, reached the peak of foundation establishment realm with Xiao Cheng's help. And after listening to all these things, Lingling is saying, these are actual sample data and can be considered reliable. Wow! Second senior brother is so amazing. Second senior brother. Please, I beg of you. Guide me, and help me start cultivating. And listening to Lingling, Xiao Cheng is thinking, if I guide you and you also ascend, wouldn't the entire sect be left with only me, a lonely old person who cannot cultivate? Forget it. Let's first ask about her cultivation goals. Maybe we can adapt her with another approach. Wearing a righteous expression. Then Xiao Cheng says, while cultivating immortality, one must first comprehend their Tao heart. What is yours? Purpose to cultivate immortality? And hearing this, Lingling becomes a little sad, and she says, I was born with a good-for-nothing spiritual root. Ever since my childhood, I have been looked down upon by others and frequently bullied. Even those scoundrels from the Heavenly Insight Pavilion mocked my constitution. So, I want to become stronger. I want to prove that I am not weak. And after listening to her words, Xiao Cheng tells her, do you want to become stronger to prove yourself or to seek revenge on those who once bullied you? And as soon as Lingling hears this, she gets a little nervous. But Xiao Cheng insists, if you can't even decipher your true intentions, does it matter whether you have an exceptional heavenly tier spiritual root? You don't even have the ability to resist. Ultimately, you are another weak and incapable trash. What guidance does a trash like you need? And after listening to Xiao Cheng, Lingling starts remembering how she is bullied. And who all used to bully him? Then she screams and says, it's not like that. I'm not a waste. I am, please don't insult me. And Xiao Cheng is thinking, oh no, did her blood pressure skyrocket just from a little provocation? Then Lingling is emanating a lot of energy from within herself. And she is saying, I just want to seek revenge on them. That's all. And seeing Lingling, Xiao Cheng is thinking, her blood pressure is rising, and her heart rate is increasing. Qi and blood are also circulating rapidly throughout the body, passing through 7 primary acupoints. But some of her meridians are blocked, so 3 acupoints remain untouched. And Lingling directly attacks Xiao Cheng. And she says, yes, I am weak and incapable, but in this world where cultivation is revered. As a person with a crippled spiritual root, what can I do to resist? But Xiao Cheng punches Lingling in the stomach, and the power of that punch is very high, due to which Lingling hits the wall, and she falls on the ground. And Xiao Cheng is thinking, whether she can cultivate or not depends on her own destiny. Then Liu Yaba says to Xiao Cheng, Xiao Cheng, it seems like you used too much force. Junior sister fainted. And hearing this, Xiao Cheng gets a little nervous, and he says, no way. I had good control over my strength. But then Lingling opens her eyes, and energy is flowing from inside her. His body is drenched with sweat. And she's thinking, my spiritual power is surging? I feel a warm current flowing through my body, nourishing my 5 organs and 6 viscera. I've never felt my meridians so unobstructed before. This warm current is breaking through my body layer by layer. And then Lingling makes a breakthrough. That to the 5th stage of qi and refinement. And seeing this, Liu Yaba says to Xiao Cheng, "Congratulations, Xiao Cheng, you've set a new record for guiding others." But Xiao Cheng is very confused. And he's thinking, damn, I accidentally exercised too much force. I only intended to help her clear her meridians. It wasn't meant to help her break through. And Lingling is very surprised, but she is also happy. And she is saying, "Wow, actually had a breakthrough. What just happened?" And Liu Yaba is saying, "While massaging you, I scanned your meridians and found that they were innately blocked, restricting the circulation of true qi throughout your body. Xiao Cheng must have noticed this as well, so deliberately provoked you with words to release the stagnant qi. He then stimulated your dantian to help clear the meridians, allowing your true qi to flow freely." And Lingling says to Xiao Cheng, "I'm sorry, I thought." But Xiao Cheng tells Lingling, "Cut it. Saying more would be overly sentimental. You must remember, the rule of Enlightening Valley is, if others don't provoke us, we won't provoke them. But if someone provokes us, we'll eradicate them completely. If someone bullies you in their future, fight back like you did today. Until he never dares to bully you again in this lifetime, the next lifetime, or even in the next of the next lifetime. Do you understand?" And Lingling becomes happy after hearing this, and she says to Xiao Cheng, "And understand? Well then, second senior brother, can you guide me once again?" But Xiao Cheng gets angry and tells Lingling, "Go play." And Lingling is thinking, the second senior brother's temperament is really peculiar. Sometimes he's enthusiastic, other times he's cold and distant. But the second senior brother seems to be a truly extraordinary person. Maybe if I receive guidance from my second senior brother again, I can immediately advance to the foundation establishment realm. Perhaps Enlightening Valley can truly help me achieve my cultivation dreams. And Lingling leaves that place. On the other hand, Liu Yaba is telling Xiao Cheng, "Well done. Thanks to you, my junior sister broke through so quickly." And Xiao Cheng says, "Yeah, it's great, I guess." But Xiao Cheng starts crying after seeing Liu Yaba, and he says, "No, what's so great about it? Why? How could a single punch makes her reach the 5th level of the qi refinement realm? Why am I the only one who can't cultivate?" And Liu Yaba is saying to Xiao Cheng, "Your constitution is poor. Why don't you try mechanical ascension?" Next day, we see that there is an explosion at one place, hearing which Lingling wonders, is it an earthquake? Then we see 2 boys. And a boy is saying, "It's all your fault. I told you to add 3 portions, but you insisted on adding 5 portions. Now it exploded. The second senior uncle gave us a bunch of precious medicinal materials for alchemy, and now they're all gone because of the explosion. He'll definitely hang us up and beat us for 3 days and nights without stopping." And that boy happens to be Yang Li, Feng Qingyue's eldest disciple. And that other guy happens to be Ying Li, Feng Qingyue's second disciple. And he is saying, "It's your fault." Just then Lingling comes to both of them, because of which the black-haired boy gets scared. And Lingling is saying to both of them, "Are you practicing alchemy or making gunpowder?" So the black-haired boy says, "Huh? Who is this? I think I saw them yesterday." And the white-haired boy says, "That's the new junior that Master tricked into joining yesterday." And Lingling is thinking, tricked? What does he mean? Then Lingling says to both of them, "You guys are the disciples of the eldest senior brother, right?" "I'm sure, Lingling. Were you practicing alchemy?" So the black-haired boy says, "Yes, but we failed. We will be in big trouble if the second senior uncle finds out." Then the white-haired boy says, "Why don't you give it a try?" But the black-haired boy yells, "What nonsense are you talking about? We only have 1 batch of ingredients left. If we fail again, we're truly doomed." But the white-haired boy says, "That's why I asked her to help." And the black-haired boy says, "Oh yeah, the newbie protection period." And he takes out some herbs, then he says to Lingling, "It's all up to you." And Lingling is saying, looking at that formula, "Well then, I'll give it a try." And Lingling starts making pills. and she puts her spiritual power into the furnace. And both those boys are sitting and watching. Half an hour later, it is ready in the form of a pill. And seeing this, both are very shocked. And the black-haired boy is saying, "Wow, amazing! I've never seen such a golden light while practicing alchemy. This time, it will definitely work." And Lingling is very surprising. And she is saying, "Is it a success already? This is my first time practicing alchemy, so practice alchemy is this." And as soon as Lingling opens the lid of that furnace, they all become very shocked and are unable to say anything. And the black-haired boy gets very shocked. And he is shouting, "Oh no! Even the last batch of medicinal ingredients got ruined. We're truly doomed now." And the white-haired boy points towards Lingling and says, "But she is the one who did it." Just then Xiao Cheng comes to that place, and he says, "Did you guys blow up my alchemy room again?" And both the boys point towards Lingling. And Lingling is not saying anything, and Lingling has taken that pill in her hands. And Xiao Cheng would have taken that pill, and is watching him carefully. Then he says, "Did you make it?" So Lingling says yes. And both those boys are saying, "Every crime has a mastermind, and everyone debt has its creditor. If you want to blame someone, blame her." And Lingling is very disappointed, and she is saying, "I just wanted to help." And as soon as Xiao Cheng blows on that pill, the pill becomes golden in color. Seeing this, both the boys become very happy. And he is saying, "Wow! It's actually a heaven-grade pill." And Lingling becomes very happy after seeing that pill, and she says, "So it was a success." Xiao Cheng also becomes very happy. And he shows it to Lingling and says, "You have good character." And Lingling gets very surprised to see such behavior of Xiao Cheng. And she is thinking, what does character have to do with it? But Xiao Cheng is thinking, others may think that alchemy relies on experience or fire control, but it actually depends on one's character. Just like asceticism and breakthroughs, cultivating immortality also requires good character. But what's important is, this girl can already refine a heaven-grade qi refining pill at the 5th level of qi refinement. Even Lao Wu, the king of dark cuisines, couldn't produce such a pure heaven-grade pill. Could it be that our enlightening valley really got lucky? My super qi condensation, the pill will definitely be within reach. Then Xiao Cheng takes out a formula from him, and he gives that formula to Lingling. And tell him, "Let's refine another batch of elixirs according to this formula." And Lingling also agrees to this. Then she starts refining the pill from that formula. Then Xiao Cheng gives a coffee to Lingling, seeing which Lingling gets very surprised, and she says, "What is this? Things?" And Xiao Cheng is thinking, she can even brew modern creations like instant coffee. It seems she truly is a prodigy in alchemy. In that case, we should properly train and guide her. And Xiao Cheng says to Lingling, "Junior sister, let's go." And Lingling asks, "Where are we going, senior brother?" So Xiao Cheng makes an evil look, and he says to Lingling, "Come and help me cultivate immortality." And hearing this, Lingling screams. And both the boys are praying, and they are saying, "Hope everything goes well." Upon learning that Lingling had an innate talent for alchemy, Xiao Cheng began obsessively supervising her alchemy practice. "Keep going. Put in all your effort in alchemy. Senior brother's ascension depends on you." And Lingling is hiding from Xiao Cheng. And she's thinking, "You can't see me. You can't see me." But still Xiao Cheng finds Lingling from nowhere. And he says, "Junior sister, you're here. Come with me to practice." And even when Lingling is taking a bath, Xiao Cheng comes near Lingling and starts looking at it from the terrace. And tells her, "Junior sister, don't slack off. Senior brother's super qi refinement pill relies on you." And Lingling is refining a lot of pills, due to which she is very tired. And a week passes like this. Xiao Cheng, as the male lead, continued exploiting and freeloading on others, which was truly despicable. Eating so much and yet unable to cultivate, he was simply plundering resources without humanity. Don't think I won't hate you just because you're the narrator. After this the scene shifts and we see Supervision Bureau by Let's office. And Bailey is saying, "Second brother, Don't think I can't do anything to you. My title as the sixth brother wasn't earned for nothing. Sigh, the peaceful and harmonious days are coming to an end. And Bai Lei has sent a letter in the enlightening valley. And we see Xiao Cheng, who is cooking meat. And Feng Qingyu is saying, it's been a week since the junior sister came to Enlightening Valley, but it hasn't been an easy journey. At the beginning, she was startled every day, but now she is accommodated to chaotic days here. During this time, she has been diligently cultivating. Although her progress is slow, she has improved significantly compared to her previous period of having weak spiritual roots. By the way, the pills she refines good effects. They can help people gather qi, concentrate their minds, and even break through their realms. Second junior brother, have you tried them? And Xiao Cheng is getting very angry after listening to Feng Qingyue's words. And Feng Qingyu also feels this way. And he gets nervous, then he's saying, I was asking if you've consumed her pills, don't hit me. If you hit me, I might ascend. But Feng Qingyu is thinking, oh my, I almost forgot that those pills are ineffective for the second junior brother and junior sister themselves. Just then Lingling comes running towards both of them. Seeing this, Feng Qingyu takes a sigh of relief. And Lingling is saying, first senior brother, second senior brother, good morning. And Xiao Cheng says good morning to Lingling. And Lingling has brought a letter for Xiao Cheng. Seeing which Xiao Cheng says, a letter from the sixth? Just burn it. But Lingling teases Xiao Cheng, then she says, but the sixth senior brother also sent me a letter. And Xiao Cheng says, sent to you? What kind of trick is the sixth trying to pull? And Lingling takes that letter and starts reading it. Then she says, the sixth senior brother is inviting me to participate in the Four Symbols Auspicious Formation. The Four Symbols Auspicious Formation is a powerful array that suppresses terrifying entities. Due to its complication and unpredictable nature, various monsters occasionally emerge from within. Therefore, the Supervision Bureau often holds events to recruit volunteers willing to clear out and maintain the formation. And hearing this, Feng Qingyu is saying, although I informed all the junior disciples through letters that you joined our Enlightening Valley, how could the sixth senior brother ask you to participate in an important event like the Four Symbols Auspicious Formation? And Lingling says the sixth senior brother said that I am the hope of Enlightening Valley, and only I can uphold its reputation. And Xiao Cheng says, little sister, be cautious of postal scams. Old big brother, teach the newcomer a lesson. And Feng Qingyu tells them, Bai Lei is the Enlightening Valley's sixth senior brother, the most arrogant second-generation official in history since the establishment of the Great Zhou Kingdom. As the only son of the Bai family, Bai Lei possesses a profound family background. He can be said to be one of the most powerful men in the Great Zhou Empire. Today, this young master is in a good mood. I'll be rewarding 1 billion ounces of gold. Later, out of boredom, he went to the Supervision Bureau and became the head of the 6th Division, busy handling various administrative cases daily. He still cares about his junior brothers. Sigh, it's been long since I last saw my junior brothers. Maybe I should return and bring them some good things while I'm at it. He has arrogantly taken out treasures and medicinal materials from unknown sources countless times, feeding them to his junior brothers under the name of good things and using this as a means to study those items' properties. These are good things from the city, specially brought for you to taste. He once poisoned Xiao Cheng and even caused a series of catastrophic events, such as growing a snake's leg. Therefore he has now been blacklisted in the valley. And Lingling gets very nervous after hearing all these things. And she is saying, is he really that terrifying? Then Xiao Cheng grabs Feng Qingyue's stick, and he says, by the way, isn't the 6th senior brother's home in that direction? I'll send him a gift to prevent him from deceiving naive underage girls. And Feng Qingyu gets very nervous seeing that Xiao Cheng is about to throw his stick, so Feng Qingyu stops Xiao Cheng from throwing that stick. And Feng Qingyu grabs his stick. And he says, if you send him that gift, it would be a feast for Bai Lei. Then Xiao Cheng says to Lingling, all right, next time, I'll make him experience what it means to undergo mechanical ascension. Give me the letter. And Lingling says, in that case, should I go or not, senior brothers? And Feng Qingyu is saying, junior sister, don't worry for now, I think the sixth junior brother, and Xiao Cheng says it's fine. Here is a sword manual. Study it well in the coming days. Later, I will forge a new sword for you. When you're away from home, you need a handy weapon. Then Lingling starts leaving that place, and she is saying, "Thank you, second senior brother. I will not disappoint your expectations and will bring glory to Enlightening Valley." And Xiao Cheng says, go have fun. Then Feng Qingyu teasingly says to Xiao Cheng, "Xiao Cheng, you're still considerate." And hearing this, Xiao Cheng gets very angry, due to which he slaps Feng Qingyu. Then he says, later, write a letter to the 8th senior brother to see what the 6th senior brother is up to. And Xiao Cheng is thinking, what if the 6th senior brother isn't deceiving me this time? What if he really found a way for me to cultivate? A few days later, Lingling is saying to Feng Qingyu and Liu Yaba, 1st senior brother, 5th senior brother, I will definitely bring glory to them in Lightning Valley. And Feng Qingyu speaks Lingling very well. This is the sword your 2nd senior brother asked me to give you. He specifically advised that this sword has tremendous power and should not be used lightly. And Lingling is saying while taking that thing, wow, the 2nd senior brother is really thoughtful. And Lingling is thinking, isn't the 2nd senior brother coming to see me off? Then Lingling says to both of them, then I'll get going. And Feng Qingyu says, stay safe and come back home early, okay? Then Lingling starts leaving that place. And seeing him leaving, Liu Yaba is saying, my calculations show that, given Lingling's current abilities, she will only be among the first to be eliminated in the ritual of 4 symbols auspicious formation. It's impossible for her to come out on top. And Feng Qingyu says, don't worry, we have that guy. And after this the scene shifts. And we see 2 people, who are talking. And the first man is speaking. The ritual of 4 symbols auspicious formation hasn't even started, but the deer we used as our mount was injured by a monster on the way here. What do we do now? And the other man says if the elder finds out that we turned his mount into this state, he will definitely punish us severely. And both of these are from the Moonwatch Pavilion. Then there is some movement at that place, and some people are saying, there, look at that person, is he riding a dog? What sect is this person from? The dog can even speak human language. This is truly surprising, and both of them also listen to all their talks. Then the first man looks back and sees Xiao Cheng and his dog. And the name of this dog is Daqiang Xiao. And Xiao Cheng's dog is saying, can you get off me? I'm a dog, not a horse. Don't you understand, you thick-headed spineless scum? And Xiao Cheng says, aren't you always saying that you have attained enlightenment and become an immortal? In that case, you should have an extraordinary aura and unyielding spirit. Being a mount is just perfect for you. And as soon as both of them see Xiao Cheng's dog, their intentions get spoiled. And the first man is saying, this dog can speak human language. It must have achieved enlightenment. Its inner core can be of great use. And the other man says, in that case, it's easy. Then Xiao Cheng's dog is saying, at least I can fly, unlike someone who still can't even ride a sword. And as soon as Xiao Cheng hears this, he gets angry. And he grabs her dog's ears. And he is saying to her, what are you bark about? What is so impressive about flying? And that dog is saying, stop pulling my ears, it hurts. Then someone says to Xiao Cheng, brother, your dog is quite remarkable. Can you sell it to me? We are disciples of the Moonwatch Pavilion. We see that this dog has great potential. Instead of letting it have an uncertain fate, why not sell it to us? Let the dog cultivate and ascend to immortality alongside us. And the other guy says, yes, if this dog continues to follow you, it probably won't have a good outcome. We are willing to offer 20 spirit stones for your dog. And as soon as Xiao Cheng hears this, he sees their deer, which belongs to both of them. And his condition is very bad. And Xiao Cheng says to both of them, so it turns out your mount was seriously injured, and you want to use my dog's inner core to repair it. Such a grandiose explanation. I almost believed it. And as soon as both of them hear this, they become very angry. And those people are saying, no way, you really saw through it and exposed the truth? And the other man says, "We are disciples of the Moon-Watched Pavilion, one of the 7 great sections. What can you do if we take the life of your dog? Do you dare resist?" But Xiao Cheng is not making any difference to what those people say, and he is saying, "Why should I sacrifice my dog's life to heal your injured mount? The dog is mine, and I said I won't sell it." And hearing this, the man gets angry. And he starts summoning lightning in his hands. And he is saying, "Since you aren't accepting our offer, you need to be punished." And that man is about to use the moonlight seal on Xiao Cheng. And seeing that formation, Xiao Cheng says to his dog, "Are you going to fight, or should I?" And Xiao Cheng moves away from that formation. And seeing him move away, the other man starts laughing, and he says, "There's no use running away. My lightning formation is difficult even for them foundation establishment cultivators to withstand." And the first man is laughing and saying, "Now the plum blossom deer will be saved, and its cultivation might even improve. The elder might even prize us for this and greatly reward us." But Xiao Cheng tells both of them, "These magical attacks are really annoying." And Xiao Cheng says to his dog, "Daqiang, I leave it to you." And his dog is ready to fight. And he moves forward to directly attack the other man. And breaks his knife in a single attack, and attacks him with his claws, due to which the man falls down. And that man is saying, "Can this dog use a spinning kick? Is this something a normal dog do?" And the first man gets scared after seeing the condition of his partner. And he is saying, "There's something wrong with this dog. I'll go capture its owner first. My mortal with no cultivation is as easy to crush as an ant." But Xiao Cheng gets very angry. And he grabs his dog's tail. And with the help of the dog he attacks the man. Then he throws his dog away. Then he says, "How dare you look down on mortal? Let me show you the pain of a physical attack." And we see that the condition of Xiao Cheng's dog has become very bad. And he is saying, "I may not be human, but you're truly a dog." After a while, the registration site for the 4 symbols auspicious formation. And those 2 men are leaving after getting beaten by Xiao Cheng. And the first man is saying, "Finally, we've arrived." And the other man says, "I swear if I encounter that brat again, I will make him and his dog pay the price." Then seeing both of them, some people say, "Where did these beggars come from?" "Oh, JT's a fellow cultivator from the Moon-Watched Pavilion. I thought you were beggars who had suffered a disaster. And all 3 are from a bright moon mountain villa." And that man's partner says, "Hey, you have no taste. A fellow cultivator from the Moon-Watched Pavilion is surely setting the fashion trend for the cultivators of the Great Zhou Kingdom. Look at the unique dog paw-shaped brooch on their faces. It's so charming, haha." And after listening to his words, both of them get angry. And the first man is saying, "We also belong to the 7 Sects Alliance, yet you dare to insult us like that? You are shameless." And the other guy says, "Damn it, I've already been humiliated once today. Do I have to endure a second humiliation?" Just then Lingling comes to that place. And seeing them fighting, she is thinking, "What's with this commotion?" Then the bald man attacks both of them, due to which both of them start falling away. And that bald man is saying, "The 4 symbols auspicious formations ritual isn't a place for a bunch of losers. Go back to your Moon-Watched Pavilion and cry to your mommy." Just then Lingling catches a man. And Lingling says to the man, "You're going too far." And the man gets surprised after seeing Lingling. Then he says, "Oh my, aren't you the same girl who was expelled from the mountain villa, a good-for-nothing trash?" And hearing this, Lingling gets very angry. Then the man says to Lingling, "I thought that after you were kicked out of the villa, you found a place to fend for yourself. I didn't expect to meet him here, what bad luck." And Lingling is remembering her past. Then she says, "First, I was not expelled from the villa, but left voluntarily. Secondly, I do feel unlucky to meet a scum like you." But the man says, "If you were really capable, how could Mingyu Villa not keep you? The villa is so generous that I can't bear to hurt your self-esteem, so I asked you to resign. Don't take yourself seriously." And his companion says, "We feel unlucky when we meet you, a loser who only knows how to chew babies." And his other companion laughs and says, "Look, she's crying again. Ha 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 ha." And seeing all three of them laughing at her, Lingling is getting very angry. And she is speaking, don't go too far. But then there is an announcement, dear fellow Taoists, please note that the registration time for the 4 Elephants reformation ceremony is only half an hour away. Anyone who wants to register, please hurry up. Then the first man says, Heroine, thank you for standing up for our brothers, but the ceremony is about to begin, and business is more important. And Lingling says, I'm not doing it for you, I'm doing it for myself. But you are right, business is more important. And Lingling is leaving. Then the man is saying to Lingling, you, a useless spirit who has been expelled from the sect and has no family or sect, what qualifications do you have to participate in the ceremony of the 4 Elephants reformation? But Lingling does not pay much attention to what they say, and she keeps saying, I'm afraid I'll be kicked out if I go. I have learned a lot from Fenggu, so I don't need to worry about this unlucky thing like you. And those people are getting angry, and they are saying, you ungrateful animal. And the bulb man says, the wind rises? The valley? Never heard of it, where did it come from? And Xiao Cheng is secretly watching all those things, and he is saying, which chair corner? Akira's pheasant sect? Now anyone can participate in the activities of the control council? And his dog gets very angry, and he says, fuck him? Then they shout to Lingling and say, the pheasant sect plus the waste spiritual root. It's true that birds of a feather flock together. And as soon as Lingling hears this, she becomes very angry. And those people are laughing and saying further, that's right, what kind of good place can a sect be that can take in this trash? The Valley of the Wind is probably a gathering place for garbage. Haha. Then Lingling directly attacks the man. And with just one punch from Lingling, the man falls a long way. And Lingling says, you have humiliated me many times and deserve a beating. And Lingling was beating those people very badly. And she is saying, humiliation rises in the Valley of the Wind. It deserves a beating. And Lingling beats all 3 of them very badly. And seeing this, the first man says, the heroine looks weak, but I didn't expect to be so strong. And the other man whispers in his ear, but why does this kicking technique look so familiar? And that man is feeling very insulted after getting beaten by Lingling. And he is saying, this girl is not a loser. Why are you suddenly so strong? This punch was so fast that I was caught off guard. And Lingling is thinking, I just subconsciously tried the second senior brother's one move. I didn't expect it to be so powerful. The second senior brother is really a genius. And Lingling is saying happily, second senior brother is right. Whoever bullies me, I will fight back. The feeling of fighting back, it's really good. And we see Xiao Cheng's dog, who is very happy to see that Lingling beats those people very easily. And the dog says, well done. And then Lingling feels something, and she is thinking, did I just hear the sound of rhubarb? Then we see those people whose condition has become very bad. And those people are saying, how dare you hit us and seek death? And Lingling says to them, still want to be beaten? But then the man releases his power, then he says, you really pissed me off. Today I will sacrifice you to my soul fire. And Lingling gets a little upset seeing this. But then the announcement comes, dear fellow Taoists, please note that the registration time for the 4 Elephants reformation ceremony is about to end. Fellow Taoists who still want to participate, please hurry up and register. If you want to register as soon as possible, you can come directly without waiting in line. And as soon as people hear this, they all run very fast. And seeing this, Lingling gets shocked, and she moves away from that place at the right time. And the crowd starts moving directly towards those people, seeing which the man gets surprised. And a child hits that man with his head, due to which they fly into the air. And the crowd would have crushed that man. And we see the situation of all 3 of them become even worse. Then Lingling also very quickly places her foot on the man's eggs. And breaks its eggs. And she is saying happily, it's important to register. After some time, Xiao Cheng and his dog come out of the bushes. And his dog is saying, at this time, he suddenly said that there is no need to queue up. This control yuan is really as unreliable as Bai Lai. And Xiao Cheng is thinking, although Lao Lu is unreliable, he never messes around in serious matters. Something must have happened that forced him to speed up. And he says, I have something to do with Lao Lu. Dachiang, you go and follow Lingling. Then Xiao Cheng starts leaving that place. And seeing Xiao Cheng going, his dog says, won't you follow? I think those people in Mingyu Villa are very narrow-minded. They may very well take revenge on their junior sister. So Xiao Cheng says the child is getting older, and it's time to wean. And that dog doesn't know what to say, he just keeps watching Xiao Cheng going. After this, mysterious fog forest ceremony of the Four Elephants reformation officially begins. The assessment location of this ceremony is the mysterious mist forest. The assessment method adopts a points system. Points will be settled for all participants after the ceremony. The person with the highest points will receive a mysterious grand prize provided by the 6th Office of the Oversight Yuan and a qualification for employment in the Oversight Yuan. After entering the mysterious mist forest, participants will randomly encounter monsters, alien beasts, monsters, etc., and you can get points by killing them. The amount of points is determined by the strength of the monster. The stronger the monster, the more points it will bring. The smaller the counterpoints, the smaller the points. The fairy cards received by participants at the registration office can record points. After the ceremony, the fairy cards will be recycled for point settlement. Please keep them properly. And Lingling is saying while leaving, I must get first place and bring glory to Fingu. Give yourself some credit too. Then the scene shifts, and we see Xiao Cheng going ahead. But there is a monster behind him, who is watching Xiao Cheng go. Then that monster directly attacks Xiao Cheng. But Xiao Cheng defeats the monster with a single punch. And that master goes away and falls. And then a man comes to that place, who gets very scared after seeing that monster. Due to which he becomes unconscious. And seeing this, Xiao Cheng is saying, it's so noisy. Are you so frightened that you faint? Squirt, if I hadn't happened to pass by, you might have been eaten by a monster. It was clear that Lao Lu was doing this ritual just to subjugate the demon and seal the demon, and to work for him in vain, but there were quite a lot of stupid people. And then Xiao Cheng notices something, and he is thinking, there won't be only one small magic circle like this, there should be others nearby. Then Xiao Cheng goes to many such places, and there is a magic circle at all the places. There are many monsters in that place, but Xiao Cheng has defeated all of them, and he is thinking, such small formations form the formation eyes, and then the major formation eyes are integrated into 4 major formation gates. The final combination is the complete 4 symbols reformation. This kind of magic circle is intricate and interlocking, so it has a strong suppressive effect. It is generally used to seal monsters, and other terrible things. Bai Lai is so anxious, is there something wrong with the seal? Just then Xiao Cheng hears the voices of some people, and they are speaking, I have to find that loser Lingling. Then Xiao Cheng starts listening to the 3 of them secretly, and he is thinking, how many people are there in Mingyu Villa? And those people are saying, how dare that trash do this? Pan is waiting for help. When I find her, I must return this shame to her 1,000 times. And the bald man is saying, don't worry, senior brother. On the way here, I heard the deacon from the 6th Office of the Overwatch Council mention that there is a swamp in the center of the mysterious fog forest. That's where the evil spirit is strongest. There are many big and difficult monsters dormant in this place. Even if we are not her opponent, the big demon over there is enough to deal with her. And his companion says, senior brother, this is a good way to divert trouble to the east. Then the man says, then why are you still standing there? Hurry to find that trash and lead her to the swamp. And Xiao Cheng comes forward, but he stops and he says, Lingling. She has a powerful person following her, so there's no need to worry. The most urgent task is to investigate this circle again. But someone is secretly watching Xiao Cheng. And Xiao Cheng also notices this. And he says, who is it? Then the man comes forward and says, Cluck, sacrifice, great sacrificial ceremony, great king. I will dedicate our lives to you, as long as you get what you want. And seeing that man, Xiao Cheng says, huh? Dude, are you okay? But from the looks of it, it seems that the man is about to stab himself. And he is saying, Blessings for the birth of the king. Xiao Cheng is thinking, looking at that man, no, he is under a spell. And Xiao Cheng directly punches the guy in the face, and he says, the prodigal son's come back punch. And the man falls down. And Xiao Cheng is saying, I have sealed your meridians, have a good sleep. But your state is not like the influence of ordinary magic. Is it? A demon? And then a pigeon comes flying near Xiao Cheng, and it has brought a message for Xiao Cheng, seeing which Xiao Cheng says, Lao Ba's reply? And Xiao Cheng takes that message from the pigeon, and looking at that letter he is saying, I would like to see what kind of medicine is sold in Lao Lu Hulu. And as soon as Xiao Cheng reads that letter, he becomes very surprised. And he starts running very fast, and he burns that letter. Then we see Lingling, who is fighting with monsters, and she is thinking, after collecting this one, I should be able to enter the top 5. Second senior brother, I will not let you and Chifeng go down. But then Talisman passes by Lingling, seeing whom Lingling gets surprised. And because of that talisman the monster is killed. Seeing this, Lingling becomes very angry, and she says, who did this? So those 3 people come in front of him, and they are saying, trash is trash, it's so hard to kill a little demon. And the bald man is saying, even if you want to come out on top, it's really a dream. And Lingling gets very angry after listening to his words. Then she is seen taking out the sword given by Feng Qiyu. And she is saying, a mouthful of rubbish, what else can you do besides talking about it? And after feeling the power of that sword, those people become very nervous. And Lingling has taken out that sword. But as soon as they look at that sword carefully, they start laughing a lot. And they are saying, look at the sword, ha 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 ha, that's it? It really makes me laugh to death, and Lingling gets very shocked after seeing that sword, and she says, ha, why is he a candied hair? Then the man says, it is indeed a piece of garbage made by a garbage sect, ha 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 ha, and Lingling directly attacks that man with the sword. And the man goes too far and hits a tree. And Lingling tells them, what are you laughing? Even if it's a candied hawse, I'll still hit you. And the bald man has attacked Lingling, and he is saying, Humph, you loser, how dare you look down on us and taste my meteor made of 10,000 years of black iron. But Lingling Tako cuts the man's weapon into 2 pieces, and seeing this the bald man starts crying profusely and says, my hammer, what is her sword made of? How come it can cut through anything? And the third companion of both of them is taking both of them with him. And he is saying, no matter what it is made of, stick to the plan. Sure, Lingling, you loser, come after us and kill us if you can. And those 3 are running. And Lingling is following them. Then we see Xiao Cheng's dog, who is watching everything from the top of the tree. And he is speaking, hey, this kid is quite similar to Xiao Cheng's temper. He takes action when it's time to take action, which is really good. It seems there is no need for me to take action. But we see that something comes out of the water, and it is looking at that dog. Then we see those people running away. And Lingling is attacking him. And those people are saying while running, senior brother, this useless weapon is so powerful that we can't stop it at all. And the first man is speaking, uncles. We agreed to use the big monster here to deal with her, but why is there not a single monster here? And Lingling is asking them to stop, but then she notices something, that bubbles are rising from the water. And Lingling is surprised to see this. And then there is an attack on Lingling. And Lingling goes away and hits a tree, and blood starts coming out of her mouth. And Lingling is very nervous, because there is a huge frog monster in front of her. And all 3 of them come forward, then they say, haha, the big demon is here. Trash, you're done. But that monster also attacks those people, due to which they fall far away. And Lingling is trying to get up, and that frog is about to crush Lingling under his paw. And Lingling screams very loudly. But then someone attacks that monster. And Xiao Cheng's dog has come to that place. And that dog is releasing a lot of energy from within itself, and is saying, how dare a toad scream in front of me? And seeing the dangerous power of that dog, the frog got very scared. And that frog is speaking to that dog, I'm sorry, boss, I was wrong. And Lingling says, Daqian? Why are you here? And the dog says Xiao Cheng is worried and asked me to follow you. And hearing this, Lingling becomes happy, and she says, really? He didn't even come to see me off when I came down the mountain. I thought he didn't care. And we see those 3 men, who are still secretly keeping an eye on Lingling. And those people are saying, damn it, why is there another monster? And this monster seems to have an unusual relationship with Lingling. And the bald man says, one teacher Lingling is enough, but a big demon. No, I can't beat him. But the first man says, don't panic, look at that. If I read it correctly, it should be a spiritual formation used to suppress big monsters. It is full of spiritual power, and can specifically defeat big monsters. If we can borrow some spiritual power from them to destroy these 2 big monsters, our Mingyu Villa is the first to eliminate demons this time, and we can also get rid of that trash Lingling. And both of them together start giving their spiritual energy to the first person. And the other man is speaking, senior brother is right, it is the glory of this waste that Master Lingling can become a victim of our righteous path to eliminate demons, and those people have taken out a talisman, and have put all their energy into it. And he has used that talisman on that frog, due to which a lot of energy starts emanating at that place. After this, the scene shifts and we see Bailey. And an officer has come to him, and he is saying, Director. It seemed like a noise coming from the other side of the swamp. Someone must have tampered with the central magic circle. The new director's comics are here to bring. But Bailey says, no need. If the magic circle is not destroyed, how can we eliminate the demon? Everything is under my control. Okay. So, let's in today's video. If you like this video, so please subscribe my channel. If you wants to see next part, so please comment.